Now, here's a protest that cannot be ignored, literally. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the apparent protest from New York City sanitation workers against the vax mandate in the city. Now, I got to say this. If you want to get the vax, that's your prerogative, your body, your choice. Go out there and do it. I'm not trying to stop you. Now, if you don't want to get it, I feel the same exact way. Your body, your choice. You should not be forced to get a thing that you don't want to get. You should have agency over your own body, right? That's what I was told from all the poor choices out there. My body, my choice. Well, why not on this when it's really your body and not a body inside your body, right? And I feel like this is a thing that's not just kind of a niche group that feels that way. This is very popular. New York City, Chicago, LA, all over the country, all over the world. You're seeing protests, thousands of people who do not like the mandatory shutdowns, the mandatory vaccines. So this latest protest in New York City is another example of how the general public, regular normies, do not like vax mandates. Now, some may like it. They may like being governed really hard. They may like being told where to go, how to go there, what to do, when to do it. They may like that, but I think average people don't. Now, before I go any further, let's roll the clip. In this clip, you'll see Bill de Blasio give his 2 cents on the apparent protest. You'll see New York City people giving their 2 cents on it, how they don't like the rats the size of cats going through their trash. But after we get done with that, I'll come back. I'll talk about what was said there. Then I'll give you my 2 cents and my deep, detailed analysis. And then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Maurice and Christine, residents all over the city complain their trash has not been collected since last week. Mayor de Blasio believes it's a silent protest against his upcoming vaccine mandate. But with thousands of sanitation workers, EMTs, police officers and firefighters still unvaccinated, even more essential services may soon be slowed down.
Come and get the damn garbage.
This Bay Ridge resident says the sanitation department is 2 days behind on trash pickup in his neighborhood.
We have raccoons, we have cats, we have stray dogs, we have possum, and they all get into the garbage.
He isn't alone. Garbage bags are piling up in parts of Brooklyn and Queens in what some suspect is a sanitation worker slowdown, protesting the upcoming vaccine mandate for city workers.
I'm assuming it is related to people expressing their views on this new mandate. You want to protest? Go protest. But when you're on the clock, you have to do your job.
Thousands of essential workers did protest Thursday outside Gracie Mansion, fighting Mayor de Blasio's deadline for city employees to get the COVID shot by 5 p.m. Friday or don't get paid.
I think that it's extraordinarily short-sighted to take people who just had a ticker-take parade for a few short months ago and cast them aside.
As it stands, 65% of firefighters are currently vaccinated, 67% of sanitation workers, 78% of cops, and 80% of EMS.
This will be a death sentence to some people.
City officials are coming up with contingency plans to deal with a shortage of first responders next week. The FDNY expects to operate 20 fewer fire companies and 100 to 150 fewer ambulance tours per day.
We always showed up to work. We want to work, Mayor.
The mayor is not budging on the mandate's deadline. He says impacted agencies will use mandatory overtime, shift changes, Sunday trash collection, and cancel vacations to make up for the staffing shortages. We're live in Park Slope, Brooklyn. Allie Bauman, CBS 2 News.
Allie, thank you.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, bravo to y'all out there in New York City for standing up for what you believe in. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the guys and girls out there in Chicago, the firefighters, police officers, everybody that stand up for what you believe in. You don't want to have this vax mandate be a thing. Now I understand how it can be an inconvenience and maybe even dangerous to those that live out there in these places. I understand that. But there's danger regardless, because if I'm being forced to get a thing and then I have an adverse reaction, okay, what about me? What about my family, wife and kids, all of that? What about them? See, there's danger all around. Yes, you want to do your job. Yes, you want to go out there, protect, serve, or whatever the case may be. But I did not sign up to be forced to get shots that I don't want to get. I did not sign up to eliminate my bodily autonomy. to eliminate my personal agency. I did not sign up for that. So we got to figure out a way to make this whole thing work. Okay, we can't just have whatever's going on. All right. And I think in New York City, things you can see like the trash piling up, that's going to force a conversation, because now it's not only those who don't want to get the shot that work for sanitation that are going to be affected. It's those who live in the city who having their trash piling up, and they got all types of rodents coming into the crib. I know how New York is. You guys got roaches that got jetpacks on. The rats looking like Ninja Turtles. You guys got pet rats out there in New York City. I saw a rat carrying a slice of pizza. It's like, what in the world? So the rodent problem is real. And then on top of that, you got people kind of like in really dense areas. So there's a rodent problem. You have people affected kind of like all at once. It can start in one building or in one apartment and spread throughout the entire building. So this is a very pressing issue to get this trash off of the streets. But you got to be able to come to the table and negotiate and say, hey, I need an exemption. I need to be able to not get this vax. And if you are not going to allow me that, right, well, how about I don't come to work? People may get fired. They may lose their job. And I hope no one loses their job or gets fired. But if it comes down to that, then that's what it is. They may try to say, are we going to do mandatory overtime and all this and that? But there's only so many hours you can extract from one human being before you can't anymore. All right. And then at a certain point, if you have overworked people, they may quit just on that. They may have gotten the vax, but now they got 18-hour shifts, 20-hour shifts. They're not sleeping. They're not eating. They're not seeing their kids and their wife and stuff like that. It's like, you know what? I ain't signed up for this. I don't mind getting the shot. I got the shot. That was my choice. But now I'm being forced to do things that I really don't want to do. I really don't want to be out here slinging trash and fighting these, Mike Tyson sized rats in New York City and, working 20 hours. I don't want to do all that. I want to be able to rest. And then if you're talking about police and stuff like that, there's going to be a drop in the quality of police work. Not because they just don't want to do right. It's because if someone's tired, about to be going to sleep, there's only so much they can do. There's only so many coffee pots and energy drinks you can consume to make up for lack of sleep. You got to be able to rest. You got to be able to sleep. You can't be overworked. So you're going to lose people based on the vax mandate and overwork. And then beyond that, there's a labor shortage. Every sector of life is having a labor shortage right now. You could be a burger flipper or a truck driver and everything in between. You can make minimum wage, 6 figures, 7 figures. There's a labor shortage all across the country. So how you think you're going to be able to just replace 1/3 of sanitation or 1/3 of the police force or 1/3 of the fire out there in Chicago, New York City? What are you going to do? You saw the rates of vaccination, like 70%, 75%. That's not going to increase. Everyone who wants the vax has pretty much gotten it. I heard that there was like 1,000 officers that got vaxxed in New York City recently, but it's still only like 78% of the force that is fully vaxxed. And my question is an obvious question. Maybe nobody really wants to answer the question or even address it with a 10-foot pole is, what does being fully vaxxed mean? What does that mean? Does it mean the one shot, Johnson & Johnson? Does it mean the 2 shots, Moderna, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, et cetera? Or does it mean you had your 3rd booster or your 4th booster? I mean, the 4th booster blew my mind. I just saw the 3rd one being rolled out recently. I didn't even know if it was in the wild all the way yet. They're talking about the 4th one. So at a certain point, are you going to be getting shots every like 3-4 months? And if not, what's the point of the mandate? If you could still spread the bug to people, if you got a shot or not, what's the point of the mandate? It said the mandate is to stop the spread, right? You got to protect others. What did your man Charles Barkley say? Oh, it's to protect everybody else. Oh, okay, that's what it's for. Then what's the point? Then if that's true, why did they also say, scientists now, Rochelle Walensky, CDC director, why did they say that the shot does not stop transmission, does not prevent transmission. What's the point of the mandate? The mandate is not scientific. It's intrusive. It violates civil rights. It violates personal rights. It violates all types of things. So I support anyone that doesn't want to get it. If you want it, go for it. But there should not be a mandate, period. So yeah, shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to all the celebrities, you Kyrie Irvings and your Ice Cubes and everybody else that doesn't want to get it. Shout out to all the regular everyday working Joes that don't want to get it either and who are sacrificing a lot to stand up for their rights. I salute all you guys, 100%. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How you feel about these sanitation workers out there in New York City refusing to get the vax? Whatever thoughts on that are, let me know in the comments below. You guys pretty much know where I'm at. I support anyone that stands up for their freedom, stands up for their rights. Okay, I understand you got the trash out there. It's stinking like crazy. The rats are getting the size of Captain America. I understand. But what else are we going to do in a situation where people are being forced to abandon their personal agency? What are you going to do? Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.